Hello, welcome to the Collegewise Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us today. Just a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. If your question is for a specific school, make sure to name that school in your question so they know it's for them. Your cameras and microphones are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. So sit back, relax, and just absorb all of this great information coming your way over the next 45 minutes. This is just one of many different sessions happening today. So be sure to sign up for additional ones where you sign up for this one, strivescan.com/collegewise. And this presentation is being recorded. It'll be available within about a week. Again, the same website I just said, but I'll say it again, strivescan.com/collegewise. We are in session E2. It's pretty much the center of the screen. I'm moving my cursor over it so you can see that. So those are the 6 schools that will be presenting during this session and the order of their presentations. All right, I've gotten rid of the housekeeping stuff, so now I will get out of the way and turn it over to our first presentation from the representative from Alaska Pacific University.
Thank you. So Alaska Pacific University, we're a small private liberal arts and science-focused institution. We're located in Anchorage, Alaska. We sit on the traditional Dena'ina Athabascan lands, the people's lands, and we seek to honor and celebrate this community and their traditions. We are located in Anchorage's University Medical District, a very busy area of Anchorage, but we're a much smaller campus. We are a Native American Alaska Native serving campus, so we highlight and focus on the culture here and the Native tribes in the state, while also offering rigorous academics. In addition to our main campus, we have the Kellogg campus, which is a working farm on 900 acres located in Palmer, Alaska. Many of our sustainability studies and outdoor studies students utilize this campus. The farm also supplies fresh local produce for our dining services. So Anchorage is Alaska's largest city with about 300,000 people. You do get a small feeling with the campus of about 530 students. You will get to know the professors, classmates, and be part of a tight-knit community while at APU. You won't have to compete for internships or jobs while on campus with lots of other students. We also have 3 housing options. Atwood is our traditional suite style dorms. We also have Seaglehurst and University Village, which are more apartment style. And students are required to live on campus for the first 2 years, unless they are local students. In our faculty, the student ratio is about 8:1, and so students get individualized attention. So in Anchorage, you get the nice city filled with lots of job opportunities. There's a downtown area. Our campus is tucked away back into a quiet woods area. You get to experience also all the wonderful things about Alaska. You're near mountains, glaciers, salmon-filled streams, and short drive to an ocean view. Students also have access to hiking, fishing, rock climbing, skiing, ice climbing, downtown events, restaurants, and other amenities. There are 229 federally recognized tribes. Alaska Pacific University does put on cultural events throughout the year, has art displays throughout campus that celebrates Alaska's rich history and culture. And we frequently get wildlife on campus, such as moose or bears. Alaska Pacific University, we focus on place-based learning, which means that we want to get you out of the classroom and into Alaska. For some majors, this could mean internships in the city, and for others, this might mean having class on a mountaintop. We have 12 undergraduate programs, with some leading into a master's or a doctorate. And we keep all of our programs relevant to Alaska, relevant to the culture, the climate, the healthcare systems, and the economic needs. Some of our most popular programs are outdoor studies, marine environmental science, psychology. We offer many of our majors also as minors as well for students who want to really customize their education. And our professors have great connections locally, statewide, and even in industry-wide. And they are great resources for job and internship placement. We also have a career and services office, which can help students with resume building, job searches, salary negotiations, and interview prep. We have a tight-knit community with our dorms, with events being planned by our RAs. Our gold and silver meal plans can be used in the dining halls, coffee cart, or through our partnership with Costco. And student life plans, all kinds of events such as hiking, rafting, movie nights, open mic nights, cooking classes, and Indigenous art classes. We also have an indoor rock wall and a saltwater pool that's in our sports center, which are available to students. Our admissions process is fairly simple. We want students to submit an application and pay a $25 application fee. We do have fee waivers available upon request. Our fall start early deadline is May 1st. The final deadline is August 1st. And for students who want to attend an open house, the next one is November 14th, we'll have their fee waived by us as well. We are test optional, have been and will be after COVID, and you can also take a tour in person or virtually. Our tuition is based on full-time enrollment for 12 to 18 credits. We don't have out-of-state tuition, and we have discounts and merit-based scholarships for students that are applied automatically for anyone with a 2.75 GPA or higher. Also, we encourage you to apply for FAFSA and our donor-funded scholarships, which can also lower cost. Feel free to reach out to us through our social media and drop any questions you have in the chat.
Thank you very much. And I want to reiterate that you can use the Q&A button to ask questions of any of our presenters during this session. And if it is a question that is for a specific school, please make sure to name the school in your question so that they know it is for them. And we'll once again share the schedule so we know who is presenting here. We're in session E2. We've just heard our first presentation. So we'll move along to the representative from the University of the Pacific.
All right, thank you, thank you. All right, should be able to see my screen, all is well. Hi everyone, thank you for joining us. My name is Corinne Rao and I am an assistant director at University of the Pacific as well as an admission counselor. I'm here today to give you a bunch of info about UOP, and I know we're on a condensed amount of time, so I'm gonna just jump right in and start. So University of the Pacific, you may or may not know, we're located in the state of California. Specifically, our undergraduate campus is located in Stockton, California, which is quite literally in the Central Valley, I would say. This is where the majority of our undergraduate majors are located, as well as our pharmacy school is located at our Stockton campus. But we are a tri-campus university, meaning that we have 3 campuses in the state of California. So beyond that undergraduate campus located in Stockton, we also have a law school located in Sacramento, which is the McGeorge School of Law, and a dental school located in San Francisco, the Dugoni School of Dentistry. This is where the majority of our students complete the DDS portion of their dentistry school pathway, and it's also where our dental hygiene program is located. A little fun fact, University of the Pacific was originally established in 1851, and we're actually the first chartered institution in the state of California, so one of the oldest institutions in the state of California. And ever since 1851, we've really just continued to grow. Today, as mentioned, we have over 100 different undergraduate majors that you as a student could choose from. I encourage you to take a look at the screen, take a look at the list of what we offer just to see if your major is here or if there's a major that may interest you. Some popular majors at Pacific would definitely be science-based majors such as biological sciences, biochemistry, engineering and computer science is also very popular because we are the first institution to establish a co-op on the whole West Coast. as well as education, psychology, and business. Those would probably be some of our most popular majors at Pacific. But we also have quite a few kind of accelerated features to our programs, which seem to be pretty popular with our students. So for example, we do have an accelerated program where you can become a dentist or a pharmacist in 5, 6, or 7 years. So it's definitely an accelerated pathway to pursue dentistry or pharmacy. But then we have a lot of other majors where you're able to get your bachelor's degree and your master's degree in 5 years. So for those specific programs, that would include accounting, education, engineering, and computer science. Typically, a master's degree, it takes an extra 2 to 3 years, so it's just saving time. And we also have quite a few majors where you're able to get your bachelor's degree in 3 years, specifically for our humanities related disciplines. So if you're a student who happens to be interested in something like English, communication, history, graphic design, some type of traditional art, religious studies, something like that, that would be considered a humanities discipline at Pacific, and you have the opportunity to finish that degree in 3 years rather than 4. So a lot of just different accelerated features to many of our programs. Generally speaking, we have about 3,600 undergraduate students, so we're smaller to mid-sized university, I would say. About 18 students is the average class size and a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So just some quick statistics that I know students generally like to know. This is also just some quick statistics about how our students do after they do graduate. So the vast majority of our students, or just about 90% of our 2019 graduates, were either fully time employed or on track to attend graduate school within 6 months of graduating from Pacific. So the vast majority of our students, when they graduate, they are successful with their next steps, whether that is pursuing a higher level of education, like dental school, pharmacy school, or some graduate program, or if it is pursuing a profession full-time. Our students do well, and they're definitely set up for success. Generally speaking, we're the type of university where, of course, we encourage our students to take their courses and to complete those classes, because that is something that you must do in college. It's essential, but we're also encouraging students to do so much more. Like if they're interested in studying abroad, minoring, double majoring, doing some type of internship as early as the second half of your freshman year, it's something that we highly encourage from our students. And so our students are often doing more than just taking those courses. They have a really diversified experience while they are completing their degree. And so it does set them up for their next steps after they do graduate. And so we do think that kind of attests to that success that our students do have once they do get that degree. Also, generally speaking, just a quick touch on the student life. We are a Division I sports team school, so if you happen to be interested in playing a sport at the D1 level in college, we definitely are an option, so keep us in mind. We also have intramural and club level sports, so if you just want to have fun, stay competitive, or play a sport that you've just been interested in doing before and you never have, that's a great way to do it. Students, of course, have free event admission to all of our events, so that's always a good way to just have fun and stay active and stay spirited. We always encourage students to, of course, to submit the FAFSA. That way you can be assessed for any federal grants, such as Pell Grant that you may qualify for, or institutional need-based grants that we could offer you through our institution. And then we also have academic merit-based grants that range from $12,000 to $24,000 a year currently. And then additional scholarships that you want to check out on our website. And then of course, we always like to mention that our students, our alumni, have the second highest salary in California, and that's for UC, CSUs, and community colleges. Now, if you're a senior, this is an important slide to just take a look at. This is all of our deadlines. Please take a gander. November 15th is coming up soon, and that's going to be our early action deadline. There's no fee to apply, and we are test optional. And I know I'm coming up on my time, so I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us directly and I can help you out.
Thank you. We'll leave that up for a second so people can get a look at that and get your contact information. I'll also use it as an opportunity to remind everyone how they can ask questions of any of our presenters, which is using the Q&A button that is on your screen to submit your questions. And if it is for a specific school, name the school in your question. Up next, we will hear from the representative from Santa Clara University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Paula Garcia, and I'm one of the associate directors at Santa Clara. So I'll tell you a little bit about our campus. Today, we are located in the heart of Silicon Valley, about 45 minutes south of San Francisco, 10 minutes away from downtown San Jose. And we really like to highlight this area because it's where our students, a lot of our students are interning and getting jobs. About 80% of our students have an internship during their 4 years. And they are interning and working at all the local tech companies such as Google, Apple, Facebook, Cisco, Amazon, so forth. We also have 3 major hospitals surrounding the area. So if you're thinking of doing pre-med, you have opportunities to do internships with those hospitals as well. The majority of our students do come from California, about 55% of our student body, but we also have students representing students from all over the world, including 49 states and 38 different countries. We're also proud of the fact that 86% of our students are employed full-time or in a graduate program or in a service program within 6 months of graduation. Santa Clara is a Catholic Jesuit institution. You, however, do not have to be Catholic. Only 50% of our student body reports being Catholic on paper, and 50% of our student body reports identifying with another religion or no religion at all. What it means to be a Jesuit institution is that we have a strong focus on social justice, on educating the whole student, the mind, the body, and the spirit, and on just doing good for the community. We focus a lot on educating citizens of the world who can create a more humane, just, and sustainable world. As part of the Jesuit education, you are required to take 3 religion courses at Santa Clara, but they, again, do not have to focus on Catholicism. You can take Buddhism, Hinduism, ways of understanding religion, Catholicism, and Netflix. There's really something for everybody. Santa Clara is considered a mid-sized school, a little bit more on the smaller range. So we have about 5,500 undergraduate students with an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio and an average class size of about 23 students. Santa Clara does not accommodate large classroom spaces, so you will never have a classroom with 100 students or more. The largest class you may have will range anywhere from 40 to 50 students. All classes are taught by professors. There are no graduate students, no assistants teaching any of the courses. So you have those opportunities to get to know your professors on a one-on-one level and have them work with you, especially if you want to do any type of research or internship opportunity. We are on the quarter system as well. So right now our students are in the fall quarter and every quarter runs 11 weeks long. We'll run into winter quarter in January and then spring quarter. And most of our students are off during the summer quarter. We have an 88% of our students graduate in 4 years. So that's definitely something that you want to note when you're looking at any institution is can you graduate in 4 years? And at Santa Clara, you definitely have that opportunity. I would also say that generally our students are happy with their experience at Santa Clara, and 95% of our first year students return for the next year, for sophomore year. As part of the application process, you are required to submit the common application. That is the only application that we will take. And when you apply, you have to apply directly into one of the 3 schools, either the College of Arts and Sciences, the Levy School of Business, or the School of Engineering. We have the most capacity in the College of Arts and Sciences with about 60% of our student body there, 25% of our students are in business, and 15% are in engineering. When you apply, you have to apply directly into one of the 3 schools. You may not know your major at that point, and that's fine. You can come in undeclared, but again, you're going to be admitted specifically to the school that you apply into, and you do not have another second option. So definitely apply into your area of interest. Overall, we have over 60 different majors to choose from in the 3 schools. We also offer pre-professional advising programs like pre-med, pre-law, and pre-teaching. And we have a few graduate programs if you wish to continue your graduate work at Santa Clara. In order to apply and qualify for the university, we have our general Middle 50% range here for GPA, and that's anywhere from about a 3.5 to a 3.8 unweighted. We do look at all classes that you have taken from 9th grade through 12th grade, and we make sure to look at everything that's on your transcript, but we will recalculate your GPA to a 4.0 unweighted scale, and you can see the differences here for arts and sciences, business, and engineering. We review all applications on a holistic base. So in addition to your GPA, we're also looking at your personal statement, your letters of recommendation, extracurricular activities, and so forth, including rigor. This year, Santa Clara is test optional, which means that you will be at no disadvantage if you choose not to submit the test scores. You can submit them if you want for added context, but again, you will be at no disadvantage for admission criteria or merit scholarship criteria. Lastly, our deadlines here. If you want, you can also take a screenshot of this page or take a picture of it. We have 4 different ways to apply to Santa Clara. Our November 1 deadline is coming up pretty fast here, and that is if you want to apply during the early action cycle or early decision cycle. However, most of our students wait to apply during the regular decision cycle, and that deadline is January 7th. We consider all students automatically for merit-based aid, but if you do want to be considered for need-based aid, make sure to submit FAFSA as well as the College Scholarship Service profile by the stated deadlines here, depending on when you are applying. And if you have any questions for us, you can also go to su.edu/findyourcounselor to figure out which of our admissions counselors represent your area, and you can connect with us on any of the social media platforms here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. And I want to remind everyone, use the Q&A button to ask questions of any of our representatives during this session. And if it's for a specific school, make sure you name the school in your question. Up next, we will hear from the representative from Mills College.
Hello, how is everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. My name is Diana Martinez. I work with Mills College Office of Admission, and I am here to share with you a little bit about us. Mills College, we're here in Oakland, California, in the San Francisco Bay Area, and we have just recently been voted #1 best value college in the West by US News and World Report, as well as #1 best undergraduate teaching experience. So that's fabulous. And now here's a little bit more about us. We are a liberal arts college. We are a relatively small school. We've got about 700 students here in our undergraduate programs and about 400 students in our grad programs. We are a historically women's college, and basically what that means is for our undergrad programs, we admit women, gender non-binary students who were assigned female at birth, and trans students. For our grad programs, we admit students of all genders. So at Mills, we have a really strong commitment to equity, inclusion, and social justice. So if you're interested in social justice and getting involved in the community in that way, then definitely consider Mills. Here's a little bit about our student body. I think the numbers speak for themselves when it comes to diversity. I'd like to bring your attention to our first generation population. Almost half of our students are first generation college students. We have a lot of different support systems for first gen students. One of those things is a summer bridge programs for all first generation college students who are admitted to Mills, where you can come to college early, take a couple classes together, and you do community building things and get to know the campus all together. And it's really wonderful. By the end of it, you already have 4 college credits and knock out a few of your graduation requirements, and the whole program's free. So that's just one example of how we support first generation college students, but we have all different kinds of supports for our students. Here's a list of our academic majors. What I love about Mills is we're very hands-on when it comes to academics. It's a part of our Empower experience. We have partnerships with local hospitals, companies, nonprofits, schools, No matter what your major is, you have the opportunity to do some sort of an internship or a research project or any type of hands-on work. So there's a little bit about our academics. If there's a certain type of academics you're interested in, be sure to drop it in the Q&A and ask me. I can give you more info. So we have a beautiful campus. It's right behind me, as you can see. That's just part of it. Like I said, we're in Oakland, California. You're not obligated to live on campus, but we do have guaranteed housing for all of our students. And we have wonderful, accessible public transit. We have a bus stop right in front of our gates. We have a free shuttle that'll take you to the BART, the Bay Area Rapid Transit System. And of course, we have delicious food options on campus as well. So as I said earlier, our Mills students are very involved in the community. There are many different clubs on campus. You could also start your own club. And we have 6 different sports teams: soccer, crew, cross country, tennis, volleyball, and swimming. And we're Division 3. So if you have any questions about life at Mills, be sure to let me know. As I said earlier, we are the #1 best value college in the West by US News and World Report. So when you apply to Mills, just fill out your FAFSA or the California Dream Act, whichever applies to you, and you will automatically be considered for all of our scholarships. We've just recently reduced our tuition, and we've just recently increased our merit scholarships. On top of our merit scholarships, we have a number of different need-based scholarships and grants. So definitely check us out if you're interested. Here are the requirements for the application. We just need the application, official transcripts, and 1 academic letter of recommendation. We are SAT optional, ACT optional. We believe in equity when it comes to the application process. So also, here are some deadlines. Early action is non-binding. If you want to find out sooner, then you should apply sooner, November 15th. And also, though, if you prefer to do regular decision, that's going to take place January 15th for that deadline. If you have any further questions about Mills, my email address is right here, dimartinez@mills.edu. We just had our Experience Mills open house event, but if you speak Spanish, we're having a virtual open house this Thursday. And if you're interested in registering for that, here's the link. You can just go to our website, and be sure to follow us on Instagram @Mills Admissions. Thank you all so much. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me or write it in the Q&A.
Thank you very much. And I am going to reiterate the information about the Q&A. To use the Q&A for questions for any of our presenters this afternoon/evening. And if it's for a specific presenter, make sure you name the school in your question. Up next, we will hear from St. Mary's College of California.
Thanks, Russ.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being with us. We're going to be hearing from myself and Kirsten today. So we're going to jump right in. So St. Mary's College of California, we are located in a small town called Moraga, California. I feel like most people, you've probably never heard of Moraga before. We are over near Berkeley, Oakland, Walnut Creek, and we have a very small undergraduate population of about 2,600. We are religiously affiliated with the Catholic Lasallian tradition. Lasallian is a word that you can type on your phone and it might autocorrect to lasagna. Lasallian is a word that comes from the tradition of Saint Jean-Baptiste de La Salle. De La Salle was a man who had a lot of access to education. And as he was getting his education, he realized that it wasn't accessible to everybody. And for him, that was a really big problem. So Lasallian is really this, these ways that we live as a community at St. Mary's. So you can definitely find more information on our website about that. We are a liberal arts school with 40 different majors, average classroom size of 19, and we are featured in the book called The Colleges That Change Lives. This is a book that was written by a man named Lauren Pope. He was on a cross-country road trip with his son one summer, and he was a senior in high school getting ready to apply to colleges. And they came across these 40 different colleges. St. Mary's is the only California school, the only Catholic school, and the only school with an NCAA Division I sports presence. Here is a little bit about our student and campus life. This is a photo taken in front of one of our first-year residence halls. We guarantee on-campus housing for 2 years. The first year, it is required that you live on campus with us. We have over 60 different student clubs and organizations. This number is constantly growing. My personal favorite is a Gale Gaming Club. This is for the lovers of video games as well as board games. As I mentioned, we do have NCAA D1 sports. Personally, when I was in high school, I thought that in order to go to a college that had a lot of school spirit, I had to go to a school that had 20,000, 30,000 undergraduate students. I'm happy to share with you that that is not the case, and that there are a lot of students that are quite spirited at St. Mary's. Additionally, our students look for ways to get involved through community service, and this ties back to our Catholic Lasallian tradition. I should mention that only about half of our students identify as Catholic. The other half could be of a different religion, non-religious, or still exploring. And lastly, one of our favorite traditions is something called community time. This happens every Wednesday from about 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And the premise is that there are no classes scheduled, there's no office hours held, and everybody from the campus comes together for maybe an outdoor barbecue or an involvement fair. And that is just an example of how our campus community likes to get together. I'm going to pass it on over to Kirsten now.
Perfect. So as a former St. Mary's student myself, I hold seminar and Jan term both very near and dear to my heart. Seminar is a very interesting program. It is a required program, no matter your major here at our university. You'll take it once per academic year. You'll also take January term once per academic year as well. Seminar is our school's version of the Great Books program. You'll read things all the way from, way BC, like Aristotle, Homer, Socrates, Plato. You'll go through the ages and you'll end up reading things from Dante's Inferno, Virgil, William Shakespeare, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Maya Angelou. You'll go through the ages for all the great thinkers, social activists, etc., etc. Lots of playwrights as well. For January term, you'll take this also once per academic year. And this is your opportunity to explore a program that is very unique and very exploratory and something that you're genuinely interested in. Because January term credits count as their own separate credits on our credit system, you can be a math major and take dog psychology, or you can be an English major and take science through the ages. It doesn't matter what your major is, so as long as you're taking an academic course. Perfect. So very quickly, this is a picture just displaying how we are currently running our outdoor classes. All seats are spaced 6 feet apart, and they're very limited in scope of population as well. And then we will end on the very, very important slide for applications. Now, just in the spirit of time, I urge you all, if you're interested in our university, please take a screenshot of this slide. It will come in handy. We have actually just recently upped our merit-based scholarship. This now ranges from $13,000 minimum to $30,000 maximum. For need-based financial aid, we encourage you to fill out the FAFSA because that's how we will determine need-based financial aid. If you're interested in other merit-based scholarship, please go ahead and hit up the chat and I will link you to our departmental scholarships. These are also available on our websites as well. Our early action deadline is November 15th and regular decision is January 15th. We also take the common application or an SMC specific application. And like many of the colleges that have presented today, we are test optional, which is very good. So kind of like how Santa Clara explained earlier, you're at no disadvantage if you do not include your test scores. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for having us today.
Thank you very much. And we'll remind everyone that if you have any questions, to make sure to use the Q&A button on your screen to ask questions of our representatives at any time. And if it's for a specific school, make sure to include that in your question. Up next, we will hear from Loyola Marymount University.
Thank you, Russ, and thank you everyone for being here. We'll try to keep this moving. Last but not least, my name is Beth. I am an admission counselor at Loyola Marymount University. I do have a little PowerPoint to share with you. I should say I am also an alumni of LMU. I have two brothers who also went to LMU, and so I have a lot to say about the university, but I will try to keep it short today. This is our beautiful campus. LMU is located on the west side of Los Angeles, atop a bluff, as you can see from this picture, which overlooks the Pacific Ocean, and we can also see downtown Los Angeles, Century City in the distance. Our students love our campus situation here. In addition to being a bluff all around this side, we are situated in a residential, suburban kind of coastal community around the other side. So everything that Los Angeles has to offer is of course accessible to our students, but we really are kind of removed from the hustle and bustle. Up on this beautiful residential campus, more than half of our students live on campus, and it really kind of gives our students a place to come home to in the midst of this thriving metropolis of Los Angeles. I'll talk a little bit more about the location in a minute, but I wanted to start with talking about our Jesuit tradition. So I'll try to put it differently than my colleague from Santa Clara did, since we are both Jesuit universities. But to be a Jesuit university means that we are also a Catholic university founded in the Jesuit tradition. So the Jesuits run 27 different colleges and universities just in the United States. We're the only Jesuit university in Southern California. And just a few pillars of our mission statement. We talk a lot about the education of the whole person. We talk about educating men and women for others. The way that I like to put it is that we want each student, each unique student, through their academic experience, through their college experience, we want them to develop your unique talents and interests and abilities. We want you to really engage with our liberal arts curriculum and learn about the world around you and the great needs and problems in the world. And we want you to look at your education as an opportunity to say, what am I best at? What are the needs of the world? And what unique contribution do I have to make? So that's the quickest nutshell that I can put on a Jesuit education. But I think why I love being at LMU and why I continue to love being at LMU after all these years is because I see time and again, year after year, the opportunities, the ability of our students to answer that question during their time as students at LMU. This is just kind of another quick slide speaking to our location again. Like I said, on the west side of Los Angeles, we're just a few minutes from LAX, the airport, and then just as you can kind of see from this little map right down the bluff from us is this area called Silicon Beach, which is just what it sounds like. A lot of Silicon Valley companies that have recently brought offices and campuses literally right to our backyard. Our university enjoys calling us the University of Silicon Beach. So there have been a lot of neat internship and job opportunities that have really come to our neighborhood thanks to that recent development. And we've really done our best to build those relationships and kind of take advantage of that. I like to say I didn't think that Los Angeles could possibly expand or build out any more than it already was, but lo and behold, right down the bluff from our campus, there's been a lot of development in recent years, which I assume will resume someday when we come back to a new normal post-pandemic. LMU is a medium-sized university. So we've got about 6,600 undergraduates, about 2,000 graduate students, and our students really benefit from the focus of their teachers. All classes are taught by professors. They're the first line of academic support and are really geared towards undergraduate success. trying to go quickly. This is just a quick glance at the structure of our core curriculum, which is based in the liberal arts, and just giving you an idea of the other different academic areas that our students choose to focus in terms of their studies. We have just a broad range of different academic programs to choose from. These are just a few quick statistics about student experience, involvement on campus. I hear our students year after year when they're giving advice to incoming freshmen, they say, get involved, get involved. And what I love about that is that I don't ever hear them complete the sentence. There's an understanding, a culture at LMU that says that every student can and should find a way to be involved and invested in the campus community, even outside of their academic experience. But there's so many different ways to do that. And there's never an expectation that there's a right or a wrong way to be involved in the community, but that everyone, does find their place, whether that be athletics, other organizations, cultural organizations, study abroad opportunities. There are just a lot of ways to be a Lion. This is just a quick slide about our career and professional development, which is so much more than just an internship office. They work a lot with students on thinking about their place in the world, their vocation, and career prospects in a kind of bigger picture way. And I could say more, but I'll just leave you with this fun slide of some of the places where our students have had internships or gotten jobs after graduation. If you have any other questions about the application process, please visit us online or email us anytime. We'd be happy to hear from you.
Thanks, Beth. We'll leave that up for a second as I mentioned to everyone and invite all of our other reps to come back on camera and to turn on their microphones for a quick Q&A over the last 3 minutes. But as we catch up on the Q&A that has been submitted through the Q&A button, but very quickly, we'll have you answer in the same order that you presented, but want to provide a little value added for our attendees during this session. And I'll just do a quick question that's really easy and fun, but it also can help students learn about your individual schools. And I just want to know your favorite campus and or school tradition. And we'll start with Alaska Pacific University.
I think one of my favorite traditions that we do as part of orientation now is we do a blanket toss, which is a really fun cultural activity for students.
Sounds fun. How about the University of the Pacific?
Just a fun tradition that our students have been doing since the 60s. We have 2 giant granite rocks located in the middle of campus, and we kind of coined them as the graffiti rocks. And students every single night graffiti it, change it, kind of representing their student organization or whatever they're wanting to say. And it's just a fun way that students have fun, and just kind of, it's been going on since the 60s, so it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Santa Clara University.
Yeah, every quarter we actually have a midnight breakfast. So if you're up late nights studying for finals, you can always go into Benson Center, our dining area, and you can have breakfast at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. as you're sort of studying for those last minute finals.
And Mills College.
Hi, so the day before classes start, it is a tradition for students to write their personal goals for themselves and also a goal for the world on a biodegradable piece of paper. And they all tie it onto a tree in this lovely plaza that we have on campus. And it's just there until it kind of disintegrates into the world. So that's a little bit about us. And it's a great way to start the semester.
That's awesome. St. Mary's College.
I think we touched upon this in our presentation, but we have something called community time where literally every Wednesday, there's going to be a blanket of time where no one has any courses, and you can get food for free. There's always things to do. There's always vendors that usually have something relating to their culture for sale.
Fantastic. Loyola Marymount.
If I have to choose one, it's actually a service opportunity that we call that it's like an LMU version of the Special Olympics. We call it Special Games, and we have athletes of a whole variety of different mental and physical disabilities who come to campus for 2 practice days and a big day. They're partnered with student and faculty coaches, and we fill sunken gardens in the middle of the campus. It's a really wonderful event.
Well, thank you all for sharing your favorite school and campus traditions, and also thank you for presenting about your schools during this session. And I want to thank everyone for joining us for this session today. When you close this window, there'll be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted. There's another one starting in 15 minutes. You can sign up at the same place you signed up for this one, strivescan.com/collegewise. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings. Once again, same website, strivescan.com/collegewise. Once again, I want to thank all of the representatives from the 6 schools for presenting during this session. And thank you all for attending. Have a good rest of your Tuesday. Take care.